My name is Kristine Eberhart. I am a resident of Springs currently. However, I've grown up in East Hampton. I went to Amagansett Elementary School, and today we're in front of John Marshall Elementary School in East Hampton. I've been a teacher here for 22 years. So I have a friend who made masks for all of my students, and so the first day of school they got to pick their mask, and I went to a fabric store and bought all funky different kind of masks. I also had a clothesline outside with everybody's name on a clip, so if your mask got sweaty or if you sneezed in it, you got to go outside and hang your mask on a clothesline. The kids weren't really bothered by them. You know, if people wore matching masks, we took pictures. We were twinsies for the day. We had parents shopping for them. If they found them on sale, they were sending them in. We talked about body language with masks on. And so I would say, like, I know it's going to be hard for you to not see my smile when I'm proud of you. So I'm going to teach you what it looks like right now to see when I'm proud, see the rest of my face. And I would put like this giant smile on under my mask, and they would notice the things about my face. Never had to do a facial expression lesson before, but they got it. They got it, and they were good. And sometimes they would say, "Can I just have a 5-minute mask break?" And I would say, "Of course. We respect everybody's needs." And they never abused it. Never. Not one. Not one kid. I very rarely had to tell kids to pull up their masks. I very rarely had to tell kids to stay within their own space. They just respected that that's the way things were right now. They were great. I think some great things happened. One, the students became these independent learners. If my internet jumped off, I'd get back on and they'd be like, "Don't worry, Mrs. Eberhart, we continued. We're up to number 3," which was great. We became more proficient in using technology for assessments, which was time saving for teachers. Students learned how to rely on one another, how to reach out to each other. I had 2 students say that they had a Lego club. They were FaceTiming and they were building Legos next to each other. So I think they learned how to be a part of each other's lives. And clearly you want second graders actually intermingling and being a part of each other's lives in person. But this also allowed them to figure out different ways to get along with people and to give their bodies what they needed. I think the lowest point for me was when I realized we weren't going back. I had to come to school to get materials to finish the year and to tidy up some things that had been left untidied because we thought we were coming back to school on Monday. And when I walked in and saw the calendar on the wall, I burst into tears because it was like time had frozen in my classroom. And I was taking stuff with me with the intention to do this amazing job educating children, and at the same time, really not knowing what every day was going to bring. And I really didn't know what to say to the kids. And I really struggled with that piece and not being able to give them a hug goodbye, not being able to tell them face to face how proud I was of them, because it's just not the same in a computer. Yeah, that was really hard. That was really hard. One student who typically struggled in the classroom became our strongest student. He was focused. He was participating. He was doing extra credit projects because he wanted to. He would send little letters saying, "Hi, Mrs. Eberhart. I'm just checking on you." And this is a student who, through many years, people had judged because of his things. And I really got to see his heart, and I got to see what he really truly was capable of. And he knocked it out of the ballpark. Knocked it out of the ballpark. Academically, socially, emotionally, I couldn't even begin to express how proud I was of this student. I also loved that we had lunch in our classrooms. My students and I would bundle up and we would go outside, and my husband was a plumber, so he cut me a 6 foot PVC pipe. So every day the kids would go out and they would chalk line on the asphalt so that they could sit in their 6 foot bubble around the entire sidewalk outside my classroom. And we would sit outside and have lunch together. Now, previously, there's a lunch monitor that has lunch with the students in the cafeteria. And you talk to them, but you didn't really interact because it's so loud and, it's the cafeteria and the kids want to eat. But this I really felt like was quiet and peaceful, and we got to really connect with one another and really spend some quality time as just teacher kids. Not about math, not about reading, just about getting to know each other. And it was really nice. I do hope that that stays. I did like that time with them. I had another student, two little girls, whose hearts are about, I can't even imagine how big they are. I don't even know how they have another organ in their body, because they would bring cookies to my house with a note and leave it on the front porch. Or an art project that they did in art from the art teacher, and they would put it in my mailbox. And so when they started doing this, in the classroom I have a place for it, and I hang everything. So I had my husband build me a bulletin board, and I posted it behind my head, so when the kids signed on, they saw their things, because that's what they would have had in the classroom. They no longer had to look at my treadmill or my dresser or wherever I was at that point in my house. They got to see their things, and they got to see my being proud of them, and they got to come to my house and drop it off, and it was really special the way kids reached out too, and they filled your bucket. It wasn't just you filling their bucket. It was amazing. I have so many going through my mind. Bittersweet is one of them. The time that you got with your kid at home compared to the hustle and the bustle, that was kind of bittersweet. We're never, as a society, going to get that time again. And some of that was hard. Not being able to see my grandmother, who was 83, having to do Christmas through a door with her, not being able to be with my mom. That was hard. It was hard, hard, hard. But being able to go in the batting cage with my son and being able to play a family game of basketball, we've really instilled family cooking nights that still continue. So I don't love bittersweet because there was so much tragedy with the pandemic. But there were a couple of sunshining moments that got you through, really got you through.